Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Sal here, back again with another reaction video, kind of, but not really. It's a video that I wanted to make for a little while. It's something a little different. I hope you don't mind. I'm sure the Warframe community won't. Obviously, I do a Warframe series, and I've started to realise, going through this Warframe series, that I might not be as up to speed with all the lore as I should be by now. And because Warframe is such a lore-filled game, that isn't necessarily all thrown at you at once. Some at the beginning, and then a huge gap, and then some, and then a huge gap, and then some. It's difficult to piece that all together, at least for a new player, and not for a player who plays the game every single day, which unfortunately, due to time constraints, I don't really. I thought I would look up a video on lore. The full World of Warcraft lore. Not World of Warcraft, Warframe lore. Speaking of World of Warcraft, so I used to do this with World of Warcraft. I would look up 2-3 hour videos of lore, get my popcorn and just enjoy it. And they were perfect. So, as you can see, I YouTubed Warframe lore full to watch some lore, essentially, and record it. Why not? Because I think we could all use a bit of a spruce, a bit of a reminder, maybe. Not some of you guys who are, you know, veterans at the game, but me and some other new people to the channel. We could require some lore. So, we have someone here called, my name is Biff, or my name is BYF, verified, which is perfect, and also the top comment on here is from iFlynn, who is seen as, I guess, one of the bigger, or if not the biggest, YouTuber in terms of Warframe. The like ratio to dislike ratio is good, I like that, and there's also a full playlist of lore. So we're probably going to do a video per episode, per video. I hope my name is Biff doesn't mind me doing this. Obviously, I'm still a small YouTuber, so I'm not making any money from these. So I'm sure he won't, but you know, if you do, I'm sorry. I just need to learn. I need to learn, okay? But I thought we would start right at the beginning. Warframe Lore Part 1, the world of Warframe and the birth of the Tenno. Now this is a little 10-minute video, so it shouldn't be too long, and then obviously the one after this is going to be 31 minutes, 33. We're not going to do that in the same video, because I'll get this one out, see what you think, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, let's get straight into it. I'm quite excited, because I'm ready to learn things that maybe I haven't learned, or things that I think I've learned be completely unwritten. So, let's have a look.
Wake up, Tenno, and see the worlds you changed. Wake, and see the healed scars of your disparate destruction.
I like it. He's already got a feel for the cinematic, because I love doing the cinematic things in my videos. This is cool already. I like this.
Much has changed since you last traversed the Origin system. You may not remember much of the weapon you used to be, but in time, you shall remember every dream, every war, and every sacrifice.
Yeah.
Wake up, Tenno.
I'm ready to learn. I'm comfy, I've got my noodle pot, I've got some Fanta, 0 sugar, that's lovely.
Our story begins with the Orokin Empire. At the height of their power, they were the be-all and end-all of the Sol system. Glittering ivory towers topped with constellations of golden stars capped off the highest mountains of Earth, Mars, Venus, and Mercury. The Orokin were ascendant, masters of nature, technology, and even death. Ever-moving Ayatan sculptures stood as monuments to their mastery over entropy itself. But in the end, their deaths came about at the hands of their own salvation. The greatest tool and greatest failure of the Orokin race.
Normally I wouldn't pause things through reactions and stuff like that, but for these videos, there's going to be some pausing. There's going to be some pausing, because I'm learning. I'm learning as well, okay? And I may need to ask you guys some questions, alright? But so far so good. So far so good.
The Tenno.
I know he got goosebumps by making this, because we do when we make our intros.
As resources in Sol dwindled, the Orokin sought to send colonial ships to the Tau system to bring about new resources and to expand their empire. They needed a vanguard to prepare this new system for colonization, and so they dispatched the Sentients. These advanced machines were endlessly adaptable and wielded power the likes of which even the Empire at its height would struggle to combat. As the colony ship Zaraman 10-0 made the Saturn jump to Tau, a terrible accident occurred. A botched warp jump left the ship stranded in the blinding nightmarescape of void space. But it was from this accident that the Tenno were born. Fires rage about the vessel, the lower decks consumed in an endless inferno. The food is gone, the biodomes shattered into an indiscriminate mess, and stocks long since run dry. The adults of the ship roam the pitch-black halls in hunting packs, wielding makeshift spears dripping with innocent blood, and hunting for scraps of flesh to satisfy their endless, insane hunger.
Okay, I need to rewind out because I didn't quite catch who's walking around with spears.
But it was from this accident that the Tenno were born. Fires rage about the vessel, the lower decks consumed in an endless inferno. The food is gone, the biodomes shattered into an indiscriminate mess, and stocks long since run dry. The adults of the ship roam the pitch-black halls in hunting packs, wielding makeshift spears dripping with innocent blood, and hunting for scraps of flesh to satisfy their endless, insane hunger. Endless, insane hunger. And yet, in the corners and the upper levels, secluded from the obvious chaos, there is singing and laughter and play. For all the children have come together. The void is in their heads now, in their hearts and veins, infecting them with its unique brand of physics and miserable power. The stage was set for the conflict that would be known as the Old War. The Sentients returned to the Origin system and turned their endlessly adaptable powers against the forces of the Orokin Empire. Resist as they might, the advanced weaponry of the Empire did nothing, and with every strike and raid, the Sentients grew more resistant, constantly adapting their array of combat strategies and abilities to suit the weapons deployed by the Orokin.
Lovely music.
And so, the Empire turned to the Void, that hellish realm where all known laws of physics become distorted and unequal. The sky is carved in uneven lines of multicolored fire. The heat is blistering. Pools of molten metal congeal and flow freely on the baking dirt. Ash drifts in the wind, making it thick and heavy with death and suffering. The Tenno stands, meditating on a knife-like spire of rock at the center of the crater. The ground for thousands of meters around is naught but glass. Bodies of fallen soldiers and machines alike lie half-fused into the mirror-smooth surface. A glittering auriferous sword hangs suspended in the air before the Warframe. Its blade is a glowing ribbon of gleaming golden energy, flowing outwards like fire from the gilded hilt with a grace that belies its utterly lethal ability. Slowly, the choking and cloying miasma of raw power lifts inch by inch, and the Tenno walks away. The Tenno, once the rejected remnants of Orokin society, were rebranded as the sacred masters of the old weaponry, the blade and gun. Their esoteric powers, combined with the brilliance of Warframe technology, ensured that the sentients could not adapt to them, and so the Empire was saved. Briefly.
Okay.
The Tenno were greeted by the Orokin Council of Executors, whose grace rendered...
So is that why there's also so many Warframes? Is that because of the sentience? Because I know early on in, say, I think it's the second dream, maybe, that quest line, I'm pretty sure the sentients are able to adapt to your weaponry or your arsenal or however you're fighting them, so they either take a lot less damage or no damage from it, and then you have to adapt and change the way that you're attacking, maybe change your melee or your secondary, or a different 1, 2, 3 or 4 if you're playing on PC ability, I guess I should say. So is that why there were so many Warframes? Because technically they couldn't adapt to every single frame? Am I on the right path there? Am I on the right path?
them beyond death itself, who governed a star-spanning golden empire, Orokin Council of Executors.
Let's go back.
So, the Empire was saved. Briefly. The Tenno were greeted by the Orokin Council of Executors, whose grace rendered them beyond death itself, who governed a star-spanning golden empire with an iron fist quenched and tempered in the blood of generations of workers and nobility alike. Breathless, the council bathed them in Saviour's silk, bestowed upon them titles of unparalleled renown, and started to beat the ceremonial Naga drums of war. At the penultimate drumbeat, though, the Tenno attacked.
Oh.
Mercilessly, their blades cut down the empire they had fought so hard to save.
Didn't know that.
The gilded terminus is stained in a million shades of crimson, the deep, rich red of arterial blood, the lighter, thin tones of blood spilled from extremities, and everything in between. There was no battle, no defense. Everything living within the golden halls was slaughtered to a man. Their blood coats the walls, the ceiling, the windows. The floors are a viscous carpet of red scarlet rivers. The ichor of the executors themselves coats the walls, a glossy carmine overtone to the empire they had ruled for 1,000 years. The Tenno stand throughout the venue, drawn blades dripping with gore and wet, glistening strands of muscle. The empire is eviscerated, and the Tenno freed. They disperse through the empire, through blood-soaked diamond gates. With the Orokin dead, the Tenno entered their long slumber, and as they did so, the vultures emerged, the Grineer and the Corpus, carrion birds circling the corpse of the once mighty empire, feasting on its bones and festering flesh. The Corpus make an art out of profit. Cleanly they strip the empire of its gold and its life, cannibalizing the regime that birthed them to generate mountains of credit chits. The Corpus elite took over where the Orokin left off, taking their worlds as their own, raising armies, and starting to hunt for the elusive secrets held by the Warframes and the Tenno. The Grineer began a wholesale and rapid expansion of their own empire. Thousands of generations of decaying soldiers cloned and recloned every day. The Twin Queens sit decaying in their fortress, holding on to the remnants of Orokin power. But, on a small world, hidden away near the fiery cradle of all life, the first Tenno awakens once more.
Yes, I remember this. I remember this as if it was yesterday. Okay. That's really, really cool. I'm going to have to subscribe because I need to see more of these. That's really, really, really neat. I'm glad that I found these. Okay, so I've learned a bit more on here. So I assumed the Tenno killed the Council of the Empires, or whatever they were called, the Higher Council, or blah blah blah, because they felt betrayed that they were left in the void for so long, maybe? but also with the fact it sounds like this empire very much just worked the poor and workers to a point where they were dying and they didn't really care. So it sounds like they were also bad in their own ways, and the Tenno are just looking to do good. Or maybe they did go mad from the void and that's why they killed them all. You'll have to let me know in the comments, guys. But as I say, we're going to go to Warframe Part 2, the Second Dream, the Lotus and the Stalker. These are going to be the meat. These are going to be the ones that I really need to listen for. The Chimera prologue, I've only just got to that in my series, so I don't know if I want to go that far just yet, but I'll leave the playlist at the end of this video anyway, so you can kind of check out my videos if you want to, and check out the series. Hope you enjoyed this particular video. As I say, I will be reacting to more lore and educating myself with more lore, so thank you to My Name is Biff for making this video. I know it was like 2 years ago, but it's these videos that really give the community a place to go and learn, so that's nice. That's really, really cool. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.